there, family. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Authentically Be Ava. I'm Ava. So family, it's been a minute since I've been in front of your face on this channel, but I'm working on some things behind the scenes. So yeah, I'm back, okay? I wanted to do a part 2 to my road rage video, family. I guess you could call this a venting video. You know, the only reason I wanted to do a part 2 was because, you know, it's really becoming more dangerous. You know, like in the last video, I mentioned how dangerous it was, how people are acting behind the wheel, you know, but it's just like it has increased. And I'm just really curious as to what's going on. Like, what is sparking this new behavior, this new type of mindset? You know, it seems more, like I was saying before, like folks were just in a rush to get to where they need to go. It's like they are the only ones on the road. You know, like, damn anybody else who gets in their way, I have somewhere to go. I have somewhere to be. The red light, I want to bring that up one more time. You know, first it was every now and then type of thing. Now it's like multiple times a day I will see a person run a red light, and sometimes there are two or three cars that are, the light is already red and they just will continue to go through. But family, what I am seeing mostly an increase of is folks that are in a, okay, let me give you an example. Say I'm the first car at a stoplight that is red. There are multiple cars behind me. We're all waiting for the light to turn green. Now it is in the intersection, the opposite direction of traffic. It's their turn to drive. Well, I have seen it many times now where a car would be 2 or 3 cars behind me, stopped at the red light now, will dart out of traffic into the oncoming traffic's direction and gunning that red light. I guess they somehow see an opportunity that they can get through that red light without a car hitting them, so they will gun it. And I'm just like, oh my God, you know, I've seen so many close calls, you know, of like serious accidents, and I'm like, why are these people taking these chances to just get to work? You know, this is mainly in rush hour traffic that I've seen it. And this is mainly in DC. I have definitely, like I said, seen the non-courteous drivers everywhere, pretty much in the DMV area, which is where I am. But DC mainly, people are just doing what, it's like the OK Corral. I mean, it's really like people are doing whatever they want. And I just find it strange, like, what is going on? Is it the chemicals, you know, we are consuming? You know, there has to be an explanation. People just aren't just all of a sudden just acting out, you know, doing things that could harm themselves or other people, you know, on purpose. There's something else going on here. So I'm seeing other factors in conjunction with these folks that are driving erratic. I'm talking about just the commute. So what I also want to add to that is, you know, how there's always some kind of, you know, every time we wake up in the morning and we watch the news or cut the radio on and get the you know, the traffic conditions, we always hear something new every day, right? There's an accident here, a road closure over there, you know, there's always something, you know, that's going on. So a lot of times traffic is being rerouted. A lot of times we want to reroute our traffic pattern, you know, so that we can miss this traffic and, you know, get to work on time. So what I'm talking about are these apps that we use. I have used the Waze app, which is the one I'm using now, and I was using also MapQuest. Family, I switched to Waze at the suggestion of a friend, stating that Waze was more accurate and up to date on the changes in, you know, the streets and all that stuff. Well, I don't think that's true. But I've been having problems the last couple of months with Waze, and to the point where, you know, I could it's like I'm dodging these major accidents. Again, it's like in addition to these folks driving crazy, now you have issues with the apps. I wasn't understanding at first about, like what was going on. So what I was experiencing is the app going out, or being inaccurate, or like basically malfunctioning, because that's what it seems like. It's just malfunctioning. I will be in the middle of a route, having put the address into where I'm trying to go, and it'll give you, like a time frame of when you can expect to be there. A lot of times that's not right. It's inaccurate. And this is with Waze now. This is my experience with Waze. That's inaccurate, the time estimation. Then it wants to switch routes on you like immediately, like no warning. You are following the app and you are preparing to make a left turn on, let's say, Johnson Street. And out of nowhere, it says, make a quick right. Make a right in 1,000 feet, And I'm like, what? So I got to get over 2 lanes to the right, and it's not giving you a street name. I'm just like, what is going on? I also had it one time where it just went completely haywire. It was like, make a quick left here, make a quick right, make a quick left, make a quick right, make a quick. I mean, it kept, changing its goal. I just said, what is going on? And then I'm looking for the streets, and I don't even see the streets that it's giving me. So I'm like, wow, this thing is malfunctioning. Let me pull over and switch out the app. Maybe go into the the MapQuest, because a lot of times you are en route and it's hard if you don't know where you're going, and then people are driving crazy. That's a recipe for an accident. Seriously, you're trying to figure out, and don't let me get started on this, but this is part of why I'm doing the video. So in addition to the apps going out, and before I switch up and go into what I was going to go into, also with the apps, I've noticed that what I'll say is this: I've figured out what may be the problem with it malfunctioning, and I think it's due to the internet and Wi-Fi. I think that may be a problem, very similar to how when you're driving and on the phone and then you go through a dead zone or an area that has a lot of trees, and how you all of a sudden lose connection with who you're talking to, a call's dropped. I think that may be what's going on with these apps. You're going through dead zones, and then they're thrown off. They don't have the location that you're at, and then it just starts to malfunction. I think that's what's going on. But if that's the case, then that's a major problem, because you don't know, you have no control over, when your connection is going to go out. So you just have to pack your patience, I guess. So I wanted to say that too about the apps. So that, and like I said, that's an extra added danger as well, because if you're not able to pull over or exit somewhere to park and get your driving app together, that could be a little situation there, especially when you're lost and don't know where you're going. In my experience, and this is this is driving in DC. So family, trying to see these street signs, street names, family. DC has the smallest, and I think these are the street signs from the 80s. Like these are the old ones. They have not updated their street signs like Maryland and Virginia. They have the larger ones, and they're more visible. And perhaps because the streets are larger and wider too, to where it's very visible. The way they're placed on the street pole or whatever it's attached to. It's much easier to see versus in the district. They need to really fix that. I mean, they're doing all these major changes to the city, the structures, and building all these fabulous buildings and stuff, which is great, but they need to definitely revamp these street names, these signs, and prune around the streets signs too, because I've noticed there are trees that are growing all up around the signs, and then you can't see the sign at all or barely see it. And then because it's small, it makes it even harder. Family, look at this, look at this. I took a picture of this. Yeah, just take a look at this. This is what I'm talking about, family. I mean, how in the world? I mean, it's bad enough during the day. Sometimes it's kind of hard, the angle at which the street name is turned. But then sometimes you can't see it at all. It's like, what? Sometimes there's no street sign or name at all. Not just that it's turned in a way that you can't see, with the traffic direction that you're going in. Sometimes you can't, it's not even there at all. So I'm like, what street is this? My app is telling me to turn down this such and such street, and I'm looking. I don't even see the street name. I'm just like, Lord, pack your patience, family. And I'm trying to think, is that the Department of Transportation, the DOT? I think they're the ones that have to do with the street signs. I believe. I may have to contact them because they need help, okay? But yeah, family. All of these things that I've just mentioned are a recipe for an accident, a collision, and not all the time the factors are your fault. But I mean, of course, you're going to be blamed because you had the accident, family, what else have I seen? I find it ironic when I'm stuck in traffic and a cop is nearby or an EMS truck, and all of a sudden their sirens go off, so they have to get out of Dodge. And I just find it amazing, like, is this really real? All throughout the day during my commutes, I see people driving insanely crazy, breaking the driving, I guess, laws or rules on a regular basis. Never see a cop anywhere around, ever, okay? But then when you do see them and you're stuck in traffic, they've got to get out the traffic. I'm just like, I just refuse to believe that these aggressive drivers are senior citizens. I mean, I just don't believe that. They tend to drive slow, they tend to drive slow. So, I think it may be like the millennials, or honestly, I think it may be chemicals. I'm saying it's just because we don't know 100% how what we are ingesting and eating is really affecting us. We don't know. We do know that there are chemicals and food additives that are added into our foods to make us crave food, like MSG, for instance. So it is possible, that something that we could be ingesting could create or make us change our mind state or mindset, or make us crave something to eat, or make us feel a certain way, because we already have proof and evidence that it's already being done. So it's hard to say, family. I just find it very strange, All of a sudden people are just risking their own lives to do things that are, dangerous, So family, I want to add this. I don't know what it is. I could be having the best day. When I get behind that wheel, there's always something, somewhere in my commute, where I say these words, and I never paid attention to it until very recently, and I find it hysterical. Sometimes people will take you there, like with these foolish tactics, like things that they do that just make no sense, that is not in anybody's benefit. So this is what I'll say. I'll be driving along, mind my business, listening to the radio, whatever, and all of a sudden somebody does something dumb, and I'll say, now look at this shit here. Look at this shit here. That is that is my number one. And it wasn't until I heard, what's his name? Kevin Hart. He'll say it in some of his stand-up routines, and I think that's what kind of drew my attention to it. I'm like, I say that. It's like, but yeah, family, it's so fitting. It is. You just have that outrage and just disbelief of what you are viewing, what you are seeing in front of your eyes. And that's just it. So look at this shit here. And yeah, it's priceless. Anyway, family. And lastly, I wanted to just add this. I just don't get people and their mindset. It's just like hey, I need to get from A to B, and I'm the only one out here on this road, so I'm going to drive like it's just me out here. It just bothers me and baffles me. And I just experienced this morning, but again, this is stuff that I'm used to seeing now on a regular basis. And that is when you are in your desired lane, you're in that lane and you're, on your commute. There are people that will straddle you, drive next to you, kind of position themselves, like kind of right in front of you, driving real close to your car, not so much in the center of their lane. And I'm just like, what is going on with these people? Are they drunk? No notification, no signal of nothing, because I could get it if I saw that you had a signal on that you were trying to get in this lane. Like I could see your back blinking light, and then I will, slowly slow down so that you can merge in. But these people don't put a signal on. They are just assuming that they could just dart in your lane or squeeze themselves into your lane with no signal notification or anything. So my mindset is, let me get away from this nut. I don't know what's going on. I will try to drive, up or move out of their way, and then they kind of have an attitude, and I'm just like, but did you put a signal on is what I'm trying to figure out. I guess, it almost feels like you're being bullied to get out of their way. You have no knowledge that they're trying to get over because they won't put a signal on, and then they're acting all aggressive or whatever because you're not letting them over. It's just insane, family, insane. And not only that, when a driver may have, like I say, an opportunity to get over, they want to try to get in front of you, not behind you. Those that try to squeeze in front of you, then they want to drive 10 miles an hour. I'm like, do you see me driving 10 miles an hour? Is the speed limit 10 miles an hour? Family, I'm just like, I just don't get it. These people that want to, I don't know what it is and what's going on in their lives, but it just seems like, people just don't take anybody else into consideration during their commute. And it's everything is about, has this singular mindset. That's just what it feels like. To me, if you know that you are a slow driver and that you're not going to be doing the speed limit that's posted up here, that means you should be in the slow lane, which is the right lane. You should be in that lane, not the left lane, not unless you're turning and you have to make a left turn. I just don't get it though. People are on their own time. I think a part of some of why we have some of these accidents is out here because people just are not driving according to the speed limit, and they're just not considering other people. And then folks get frustrated, and then they're doing this and doing that. I mean, I do get frustrated, but it's not to the point where I'm, about to put myself in harm's way or somebody else. There's a difference. But family, I just wanted to, I guess that's a vent. And see what you guys think. Because I know I'm not the only one feeling like this out here, in these streets, okay? It's just insane. I'm like, sometimes I just feel like I just want to park the car and get out and walk. Like, I think I would be less stressed if I just could walk home, Only if I could. Oh, and let me add this too, family. And this is what I've seen strictly in DC, where folks are on those scooters, like on like a almost like a highway. You know, not the highway, but where they shouldn't be. And I I saw this week. A girl, I don't know, I guess wherever she was coming from, maybe school, I don't know, but she had the scooter and she was, you know, in the lane like she's an actual car. She had her backpack on with her coat and her hat, and I'm just like, what? You know, like, what is going on here? And I did see on Facebook yesterday, this was in New York though, but it looked like it was a beltway of traffic. And the scooter was doing like 25 miles an hour because it was a guy that was filming it, or the passenger was filming it in his car, and he was, you know, went to his odometer and it said 25 miles an hour. So that scooter was in front of him, and you know, they were driving the same pace, and he had the only family, he had a child on him. You know, like he was holding the child, I don't know, 3, 4, 5-year-old, and he's, yeah, riding a scooter on like a road, not a regular street, you know, like this looked like a highway, like there were multiple lanes of traffic going across the same direction. I'm just like, this is insane and insanely dangerous. Like, what is going on? Lord. All right, family. All right, so anyway, there it is, family. I needed to get that out, family. Thanks for watching, family. I appreciate your views and your comments. I would love it, because this is crazy, family, and probably gonna get worse, honestly. But family, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video, family.